Hey everyone, we're back with another video. Today I want to talk about how to identify and why it's so important to identify the gap of where you currently are and where you need to be. That gap that's between where you currently are and where you want to be is something you guys need to spend time studying. You need to study, why does this gap exist and how can I overcome this gap? Because if you don't really study this gap, it's going to be very difficult to overcome it. And because the thing is, the gap is there for a reason. There's a reason why, you are not successful. These are all like fundamental things that either have to do with the habits or like mannerisms or things you've just gotten used to doing over the years. This gap doesn't exist for no reason, because you'll notice that when you take intentional actions to try to diminish and reduce this gap, close it, if you will start to become more and more successful, right? So the gap could be, for example, why you aren't the perfect student you want to be, right? And that gap, if you, by studying it, you can realize, oh, maybe I have some bad study habits, or maybe I have a bad problem with procrastination. And really, the thing is, identifying the problem is actually the first step. And it sounds so trivial. It sounds so easy and small. It sounds like, Ryan, why would we even waste time identifying the problem? And, I wouldn't be making a video about it if it wasn't like that big of a deal. But the thing is, like, people in this world can't even identify what is wrong, or they're not even willing enough to identify there is a gap. You have some people out here who think, oh, my life is fine. I'm perfect. All this stuff. Even though like deep down, they know that they want something else, but they know that in order to get that something else, in order to go to that next level, it would require so much work. So they just gaslight themselves into thinking, oh, you know what? I actually love my life. This is amazing. I don't need anything else. I'm good, right? And I'm saying being grateful is important and having gratitude is great, but like there are levels to it, right? Being grateful for what you have now is a good practice, but it shouldn't just destroy and like eliminate all your ambition to improve yourself. No, that's not how it works, right? So really be real with yourself, I guarantee you everybody has a gap of where they want to be and where they currently are, okay? So look at it, analyze it, try to break down why does this gap exist, and then turn that into actions and pieces of work that you can take to actually, remove that gap and start to close it. Because once you start actively closing that gap, then eventually you're going to get closer and closer to where you want to be. And I think just in this world today, so many people, one, don't even try to identify the gap, or two, just completely ignore the fact that there is a gap. And they may be wondering, why am I not getting better? Or like, why am I not already successful? And it all starts with just identify the problems. That way you can break it down into small actionable steps that you can complete so you get closer and closer to your goal.